What is going on, guys, and welcome back to Baker's DIY Lifestyle. So in today's video, we are going to be tackling the ceiling in our basement project. So this is part 2 of a 2-part series showing how we went through and framed this basement and got everything ready to go for the homeowners. So if you are joining us from part 1, welcome back, and I hope that you are enjoying the series, and I hope that you'll enjoy watching how we put this ceiling up in the basement. And if you just clicked on this video for the ceiling, hopefully it will answer some of the questions that you might have if you are thinking about tackling a project like this in your own home. But I'm just kind of going to go over a little bit of what we did, kind of just talk as the video is playing and explain some of the framing and the ideas that we had in this space. So what you already saw was me go ahead and hook up my laser level, and what I did was just level off the top of the wall to your left there, and that's what started our framing in that back corner. Now you see that air duct running through, and our challenge with the air duct was making sure that our drywall was no less than 7 feet from the ground. So our code requires that our ceiling be at least 7 feet high, and luckily that air duct was just a little bit under 7 feet. So you'll see us working a little bit. We push it up and tighten the strapping on it just to make sure that our drywall will go flush right underneath it to the next set of studs that we put in. So really all we did was take 2x4s and we mounted them around the perimeter of the room with the laser level, and then filled it in the best way we could around the ducting and around every piece of all the stuff that we were fighting with. Now you might be asking why we chose to not go with a drop ceiling, and that was an option that the homeowner thought about, but ultimately, like, this space is going to be a nice finished space. And in theory, whenever you close a space in, you never hope to have to open anything up for plumbing issues or anything like that. But of course, if that ever happens, he will have to cut a little hole in the ceiling and repair it. So there is pros and cons to both of these. But ultimately, the biggest pro is just the way that it looks. It's going to look more seamless. It's going to look like a really nice finished room versus having all of those drop ceiling panels. So you'll see here that the framing is not very traditional 16 on center. The gap for the air vent is right under 24 inches. I think it ended up measuring out at like 22, which is perfect because there's not a single spot on the ceiling that is wider than 24 inches for the drywall to be mounted. Every joist that we ran across, we put at 16 on center. And what you see us working on here is adding some nailers to the framing so that our drywall has something to land on. So you'll see here we add another piece because the 4-foot section landed just a little bit off center. And then right here you'll see me cutting the nailer boards because that will actually allow us to fasten the 8-foot section of our drywall and have somewhere to attach it to. So as long as you are building your frame 16 on center, you can go up to 24 in a couple spots if you have to get around stuff. But ultimately, as long as you have enough places to tack all of the corners of drywall down, you can get really creative with your framing. And the way we attach the center of it, you probably saw throughout the video, is we just ran 2x4s from the floor joists above down to our ceiling, and that's what allowed us to hang the drywall without worrying about it falling down or sagging in the future. And one thing that you see me doing here is going back and adding those nailer boards because I was an idiot and for some reason I didn't put them in first. So I was crawling up over the framing that we already laid in that piece of drywall and dropping the nailers into the frame so that I would have somewhere to screw that piece. And part of the problem was we were trying to figure out how to use the most full pieces possible and make our cuts really easy. So that's kind of why I don't know if I forgot to or if I was planning on cutting the board against the 2x4 and then running the other one to the wall. But regardless, if you make a little mistake like that, it's no big deal. Say just get in there, add some more nailer boards, just fill everything out to where you have a place to put a screw to hold the drywall. That is the main thing that's going to get everything looking nice and get your drywall up on the ceiling. So the next thing that you'll see me do is going ahead and cutting out the holes for our canless can lights. So we just got a nice LED system, and I went ahead and ran all of the wiring exactly where I needed the lights to go so that I could cut those out as we're laying the drywall. After this little section of video, I think all my batteries died because it kind of jumps a little bit from this part to where all the drywall is laid and we go into the next steps. But once you get to this point, all you have to do is finish laying your drywall. Just make sure you have screws on all the edges and you're pretty much good to go. Just cut it and lay it and keep going. Once we get done putting all of the ceiling panels up, we'll go ahead and start putting our mud on, just cleaning up the space and finishing everything off. And that's pretty much it for the ceiling. So if you guys have any questions about framing, any questions about what we did to hold the panels up, it's something that maybe I didn't explain very well through the video, definitely be sure to leave those in the comments section and I will answer those the best way that I can. Alright, so now that we got the main section all done and drywalled and ready to go, we're going to start framing out this little strange stair section here. So you can see right above my head there, we've got a plumbing pipe coming from the master bathroom upstairs, which really just kind of put a wrench in our plan because we can't put just an angled ceiling like you'll see us build on the other side of the steps. So what we ended up having to do was frame out like a drop platform basically in this little nook where the door is going to go. And then the other side, you'll see us do just a standard, right there, you can see it, just a standard angled piece of drywall, which was super easy. So this next part took a little bit of finagling because we didn't want to go less than the 7-foot ceiling height. But ultimately, it didn't really matter what we did because that pipe was right above your forehead regardless of whether there was a ceiling there or not. So right here, you'll see us finish up this little frame that we did. On this one, we ended up laying the 2x4s flat, just to give us a little more headroom there to slide it up as close to that pipe as we possibly could. We'll go ahead and finish the drywall on the wall here, lay another couple pieces under the stairs, and that's pretty much it for the framing. So at this point, this is just a little excerpt of us going ahead and running some of the electrical stuff, and the boys starting to mud all of our screw holes, and just starting that mud process. And as far as conduit goes, we just used a 1/2-inch PVC conduit. We ended up running it off of the original circuit, so it ended up working out perfectly where we can take it all the way around to the bathroom, tie everything together nice and easy, and make it look really seamless. And now, let there be light. Alright guys, so that is it for this part of our basement renovation. As you can see, we've got all the drywall put up, we've got electrical ran around the bottom, we got our lights put in, we've got our closet ready to go. Pretty much everything on this side of the basement is done. So what we're gonna do is come back, we're just gonna come back in our off time and finish doing the tape, sanding all the drywall and getting it done. And then the homeowners are gonna go ahead and paint everything whatever color they want and have this side completely ready. So for the door of the bathroom, we left it completely open because we don't know what kind of door that they're gonna get. They might go do some antique shopping and find something, so we might have to do some reframing there. And then we're gonna run our plumbing in this wall right here. So we left it open for the next time we come back. But what we still have left on this section is to go ahead and close in our water heater. Basically rip all of this plumbing out, replumb everything. They're gonna go with a clawfoot tub here. The toilet's gonna stay where it is, and then they're gonna use that vanity back in the corner. So that's gonna look super nice when we get done with it. But overall, this was a huge project and most likely our biggest project that we've done so far. And we're super happy with the way it looks. And the homeowners are really excited about it, so of course we're excited about that as well. But with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do enjoy this content, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any more of this do-it-yourself and how-to content. With that, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.